Have a quick look at the technology and the build quality of that technology that supposedly got man to walk on the moon back in 1969. Link in the description to the full video which we're about to view. All I'm looking at is a small segment. If you want to see the rest of the video, like I say, link in the description. What we're about to see is some close-ups of the lunar lander, where we get to see its build quality and the technology used in all its glory here to supposedly get man to walk on the moon. So let's have a look. And just this shot here looks like a kid's art project. Terrible. I could do better myself blindfolded, having consumed a bag of wild mushrooms and not having a clue where I was or what I was doing. I could still knock something up better than this tosh. This supposedly got man in a harsh environment to land on a spherical rock apparently, whilst doing ludicrous speeds. Land on that rock. Whilst this build quality, this technology was separating the vacuum of space from an air pressure system. Bearing in mind, NASA's vacuum chamber, the largest on Earth, required 6 to 8 feet thick concrete walls to separate an air pressure system from a vacuum. And yet we're expected to believe this art project did the same job, got men to travel and land on objects supposedly 250,000 miles away in ridiculously harsh environment, and yet we see this. It's essentially sticky tape, parchment paper, tin foil, and just lots of imagination. My bad, I'm forgetting the curtain rods. Curtain rods, sticky tape, parchment paper, tin foil. And this is classed as evidence. This is technology stroke the build quality of amazing technology which supposedly got man to land on the moon. And look at the fucking state of it. If I built something like that on site, I'd get kicked off the job and told to do one. There must have been some incredibly powerful drugs around in the late 60s to distract and hope that people would believe in this absurdity that is the moon landing, which is a charade. I mean, look at the build quality of that. Buckled panels, curtain rods, duct tape, tin foil, parchment paper. It's just a prop, an art project, just like all the old school space stuff was, either models in dark rooms or art projects like props like this. Great stories, a bit of space pantomime and a firework display, and away you go. You got your moon landing. It's ridiculous. No wonder you had things like Woodstock going on in the late 60s, the massive distraction of the Vietnam War. And of course, this is well chucked in. All the social issues going on in America, mid-60s. All, of course, a great distraction. Drugs being put into communities to separate and break up the communities that strangely started coming into America when the Vietnam War started. And of course, you've got this moon landing charade. Again, people still believe this tosh to this day and get bloody sensitive about it as well. But look at it. Buckled panels. Wait, a failed art project. A terrible space prop. Thunderbird's build quality was far superior to this. And yet we're expected to believe man travelled in this in a harsh environment, landed on a rock, had a vacuum separated from an air pressure system by this technology, this build quality. Have a word.